lines are up and about, and this is your first look at some of the games on a Sunday night. We'll cover, I don't know, we'll see how many we get to, but they're going to start with the marquee playing games here. There'll be no talk of who got shafted out of first four out or the guys on deck to come in if somebody goes down with the virus. But let's go. Wichita State and Drake out of the gate. Old Missouri Valley playmates getting together, and Wichita State, little favorite here. One, it was at 2.5. Ones I see. Total 139 over Drake. And what do you say, young man?
Man, I'm so happy that first of all, I'm so happy that we're in March. We finally have the madness. But I have been on Drake all year. I've rode them a lot. And Wichita State, they looked bad in the tournament. They squeaked by, came back late. They take so many bad shots. I'm going with Drake here, man.
Yeah, Drake was a ATS darling. Yeah, Tony Cobbs is in the chat. Good to see Tony. Yeah, ATS darling. What can you say? Wichita State, I had them against Cincinnati. They let me down there, and I said in my thing, since you didn't really beat anybody, they couldn't beat a good team. Wichita State, though, just not the same. I'm going to have to side with you here. I already got some of my hard-earned money apped up, and usually I'm not a jump into the app guy here, but opening day you have to because, the lines are already on the move. This one's down a little bit. I'm with John Drake. Absolutely. Bulldogs. Dogs outright. Live barking Bulldogs here.
Yep.
Next up, another good one. Committee, most times I'd like to see these split up. So we get Michigan State, UCLA. We had Wichita, Drake. Of course they can't have, the two mid-majors face off against two Power 5 teams. So God forbid they both, Michigan State and UCLA go down and, all holy heck breaks loose. But here we got Michigan State and UCLA going at it, 1.5, 136. Go your thoughts on this one first. Let me see what you got.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think these two could have been split up, but as you said, these two both going down, it would probably just mess up a lot of brackets. Both teams played all right throughout the year. UCLA 17-9, Michigan State played their tail off to get here. I'm going to side with the Spartans. I think they're just bigger. I think they're stronger, and I just really think they wanted more. Tiger Campbell, he's tricky for UCLA. UCLA, I just don't think has the horses here. I'm going to go Michigan State.
All right, interesting. Because I was on Michigan State a couple times this year towards the end. I'm like, you know what? This is when Izzo does his thing. March turns around. Here comes the defense. They play ugly to get wins. But I'm actually liking UCLA here. I don't know if, the Izzo train, maybe it's getting a little old. Maybe that's, they started, and I understand it's a COVID year. Guys, the teams are all, it's wacky this year. We see teams that were picked last to win their conferences, a lot in the Pac-12, Oregon State winning conference tournaments, Georgetown in the Big East. So it's a little crazy, and maybe that has something to do with it. But you'd expect more from a team that has a head coach that's been there for so long, not responding. I like UCLA here. I like their old, and our buddy Craig Pratt knows all about this head coach. He was in Cincinnati for a time or two. So UCLA, as much as they underachieve, they still get talent out of, the area. So it's not like they're not going to have bodies to compete here at Michigan State. I'm actually liking UCLA here. So we're a little head-to-head on this game. But what are you going to do? That's part of the show.
Yeah, it's part of it. It's the part of the madness.
Where do you want to head to next? How about we head let's look at the West bracket here. Now, folks, everybody joining us. I see Tony, I see Earl, Mike. Thanks everybody stopping in on a Sunday night. You could be watching, I don't even know what's on Sunday night TV. What's there to watch when it's it's college basketball season? This is it. This is a good fun 2 weeks here. And this is all that you should be worried about. It's the tournament. But let's look at how about this 5-12? Everybody loves the 5-12 matchups. Everybody's, 12 wins every year. There's a 12 upset. So Creighton, Santa Barbara, battling it out. This line I saw was 8-ish early. What's it now? Is it down a little bit? Has it moved at all since I first saw it come out about an hour ago?
I'm trying to find it for you. Creighton, I actually see it at 6.5 here. So
6.5.
So yes, right. It is falling. If it was 8, it is falling.
It's on the move. And again, I'll start this one off here. I gave you the last two. Let me say my little piece here. My angry at Creighton. So I had them over Georgetown. Everybody loved Georgetown. And I said it, some of these people know me. I do a little show, and I was like, on the Win and Free Picks channel there, I do the, sister channel of the Picks Parlays. So I'm like, everybody's on Georgetown. The line is going up. Maybe they run out of steam here. And the exact opposite happens. Creighton lays an egg. Georgetown rolls. And here they come out, 8-point fave over Santa Barbara, who's, they're long, they're tall, they're pretty good. They beat Pepperdine and Loyola Marymount out of the WCC, which isn't some super conference. I mean, you got Gonzaga, and we saw how they ran through there like, roughshod over those guys.
Yeah.
But, I agree with the line move here. I don't think they should be 8-point favorites. I think maybe they're exposed. Maybe, you take a beating like that from a team where you're an experienced team. You're, Creighton's an upperclassmen-led team, and they came out and just totally lay an egg. So I agree with the line move here. So I'll be looking towards Santa Barbara.
Yeah, I agree too. Creighton, they had a lot of hype around them. They played well throughout the season. They won games, but they had several bad games throughout the year where they just got blasted, and Georgetown is one of them. I don't know if Georgetown's team was mad that the security didn't know who their coach was. So they just sent a message like, now you know who we are. But Creighton, I think they can win this game, but I think it's going to be tough. I agree with the line movement as well.
Yeah, you bring up the Patrick Ewing. You figure there's like got to be a statue of a guy there. How don't they know who Patrick Ewing is?
At the very least, his jersey's in the Rafters.
The Rafters. Okay. So he doesn't have the 90s haircut anymore. How? Just this giant 7'1" guys rolling around the neighborhood.
Yeah, you think it's just he just
know the
happens
guy?
to be here? Yeah, he just happens to walk.
He looks the exact same.
Yeah,
it's not like he turned into a giant Slavic monster.
Yeah, he's Patrick Ewing. You know who he is.
That's terrible. I always liked Ewing. I actually played blackjack with him at the old Taj.
Really?
Now the Hard Rock. Yeah, he was.
Wow.
Funny story. He was actually playing like quarter hands with like green $25 chips, and I was with a friend at the time, and we're into green and black action, and he's like, "You guys must be rich," and we're thinking, "Didn't you just sound like a $75 million contract? You're betting 25, like just 25 straight every hand. We're paying like 75." It's like,
yeah,
it was pretty fun. He's like, "You must be rich." I'm like, "Yeah, we're rich."
Yeah,
Patrick.
I'm rich. Patrick,
but he was.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, nice guy. Was, I was standing. He goes, "I'll sit down at the table with us." I was like, "Oh, thanks."
Yeah. Okay. I'll sit down with you.
Let's see what's everybody saying in chat here. Wichita State for Earl Sports, UCLA. He's on Wichita State. I don't know, Earl. They're not the same. Granted, they won the American Air over Houston, but I think that's kind of. We've seen this Houston team looks pretty good, so I'm not really that high in Wichita State. UCLA, I'm with you there. Mike Brown says Michigan State wins 2 rounds easy. Wow. All
easy,
right.
Huh? Okay.
Easy, huh?
Just easy. Just as easy.
Listen, I'm a Sparty guy. I like Sparty, but not in this spot. I think it's just one of those down years for him. Yeah, BYU. That's a discussion for another thing. Creighton Nova going down. It could be. I don't like taking Winthrop there. Let's talk about Winthrop and Nova because everybody's going to be.
I haven't seen a line there yet, but
it's down. It's 6.5 now. It opened at 7.5, so it drops the full point down. I see some 6s around, and you knew everyone was going to jump on Winthrop just based on what we saw out of Nova down the stretch, losing at Providence. Georgetown upset them there, but you're down 2 guys. I don't behoove you taking, and it's going to be a public dog. Let's be honest. That'll be a big public dog in that game. And that's what I'm looking for it on my sheet here where it is on the bracket. What is it? I don't even know what the seatings are. Is that a 5-12 also?
12,
of course
12, yes.
Of course it is. Yeah. Of course it is. Yeah. Just grab every 12 seed, do, half money line, half point spread, and you'll probably make money there. So
you're going to come out on top. Yeah, it's they're this is in the South region for anybody who
South. Yeah,
we're in the South here. I think Winthrop. They're good. They're 23-1 on the year. Chandler, Vaudrin. He's a big 6'7" guard. They actually said earlier that they think he's a 6'7" Colin Gillespie. I do not agree with that. I think Winthrop's going to play. I think they're going to play hard. It may stay close, but I do think Villanova will get past this game. Just Robinson Earl. That's a good team. I think Villanova is not done yet.
All right. Let's see any other good matchups here in the South. We could take a quick peek at. What do you think about this Texas Tech Utah State game? I think it's going to be an ugly brawler type game. I see the total actually drop down a little bit. I think it's at 132.5 now. 133, 132, 133. I'm kind of liking under there, and you're playing in a spot you've never played at before. And do we know? I didn't write down here. We have a short kind of turnaround get to the show. Like I know some teams will be playing in Butler's court. Other teams will be playing in the football. Lucas
Stadiums,
Oil.
right?
So you got teams that play ugly already. Two ugly teams playing. I think this is going to be definitely first half under, team totals under. And I could see this being like 19-14 at the half, something crazy.
Yeah, this one's going to be a dogfight. Utah State, they played through their tournament. They are not very fast. Texas Tech is a very up and down team. They could give you 80 one night, and then, as you just said, completely struggle to hit 40 or 50. I think this one has a chance to go under the 135. I think it will be a 60-something, 50-something game. Don't even know if this one will get in the 120s. I do think this is going to be a dogfight from two teams looking to make their way through.
And listen, I had Tech over. Who they play first? Texas, right, in that first game. I liked them in the Big 12 tournament. They played Texas, it was kind of a back and forth one. I just figured they play that. You thought that tough defense that just throws teams off, and now you're playing a team that's also a tough defense, grinding team. So, yeah, I think this one's going to be one of the uglier ones for sure.
Yeah.
As long as we just talk about totals real fast. And, folks, if first time seeing me on the Picks Parlays channel here, Allie might be popping in. She had a little technical difficulties. But I'll tell you, I'm not the over king. So I kind of like a total. It's not like I'm hitting 90% on these, but I'd like to throw out the little truth bombs every once in a while. So, we're only going to talk about a few games. I don't really think that's like my favorite total because we're talking about it here. But Ohio State, Oral Roberts, this is a high one. I think this is at like 155. Last I saw, Oral Roberts, Ohio State, 154.5.
Jeez.
Yeah,
it's a high one.
Yeah, and I liked Oral. People who were in the winning free picks live chat I was doing for tournament week. We were all over Oral the entire summit, and they got some inside-outside scores. Two good players. They shoot the three, free throws. We get it done. But this is Ohio State. Let me tell you, they showed some great heart today. They were going to make a run, but just big shot after big shot. They can score. They got scores. I think this is just going to be like a race out of the gate. We're going to see threes, and if there's a long rebound off a missed three, we're running the other way for an easy two. So I think it looks a little low to 155. I think it should be about like 163. I think it should be higher. I think it's going to be an absolute winner gets to 90. I think this game's going to be like a 90-85 type game. Yeah,
I agree. I do think Ohio State's going to win this game just to get that out there. But of course. But they're scoring. They that seems to be their motto, and they do play well. Dwayne Washington Jr. He had a career high today. He busted 30. EJ
30, right? Yeah, 30.
Yeah, he's 30, 32 maybe. Yeah, he was. He was last 2 games. He is just
clutch. They were clutch. It wasn't like this. Like every big shot he came down and this boom.
Yeah, and they're going. Yeah, CJ Walker played well. Kyle Young, he still don't know how well he's going to be. But yeah, I agree. I think I really do think this one's going to be a shootout. As Oral, they may not have the horses and the guns to stay here, so it's going to be an offensive minded game. Because even the Purdue game, it was a high scoring 87-78 game between them and Ohio State. I agree with you here. I think this one's going to have a lot of buckets.
Let's hit the comments here. Listen, Thomas Brown, Winthrop, Stanley Russell, Winthrop. See, this is the thing. Everybody's going to jump on Winthrop like crazy because they're down on Nova, and Winthrop has that nicely. You look at that record, like, oh, Winthrop's pretty good. It's a 5-12. Yeah, Houston. I said it about the Cougars, man. They are a tough team, and if that other team, their shot's not falling, it could get ugly in a hurry because they were just crushing threes today. That was a crazy game, man. That was an easy one. We'll take a nice easy one like that every once in a while. We'll take it.
Yeah.
All games went over today. I know because I had that Illinois under. I thought I was looking pretty. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, what just happened here?
Yeah, when they were up 12, 6 minutes or so to go, I thought it was fixing to just grind out, and then 91, 87. How many people are upset about that last second shot that busted the opening line of 5.5? Illinois was up 6. Illinois was up 6, and that 3 counted. Yesterday there was a 3 that didn't count that actually busted the over, and they waved that one off.
So, I was seeing somebody was on Twitter was like, oh, someone was like, these games are fixed. So, what? I'm like, man, these new guys, you wait, get 30 years under your belt and wait till you get you're getting 3 points or 4.5 points in an NFL game, and somebody busts a run for a touchdown, then you lose by 6 again, 4.5 in overtime. I mean, you've seen nothing yet. You think that's bad? You've seen nothing.
Yeah, it's tough.
All right, let's where are we going to go to? Well, we're staying on that side. Let's go Midwest. Everybody's going to talk about this one because I'm definitely talking about it. 8-9 game. Loyola Chicago, 24-4. Georgia Tech, ACC champs, 9 seed. The team they beat is seeded higher than them.
Yeah, I don't get that. This Loyola team, they're made for March. It just seems like every year they turn it on and make a good run. I think this is going to be one of the best games of the first couple of days, and I don't even see a line currently.
I don't we have a line. We have lines.
We do have a line.
Yeah, I'm ready.
2.
I'm ready with lines.
2. It's 2. Loyola 2.
It's open to 1.5. I'm seeing some threes at some spots already on Loyola Chicago.
Okay, 124.5. No. I don't. The points. I hate to keep harping on the points, but that seems like doable. But I'm actually, I live in Atlanta. I'm from Atlanta. I saw the game last night. I think the Ramblers can beat Tech.
So I got to say in this game, I got a top short shot already loaded up on this guy. So I can't give out. This is one of my top plays of the first round here, and I got another big top play. But I got 2 huge ones I can't give out on the show, and this is one of them. So you got to pony up for this one. That's how strong it is. And normally I give out 50 games. I don't mind giving them all out, but not this one. But I just think that's totally disrespectful for Georgia Tech as a ACC champ, and now you're an underdog. To Missouri Valley.
Right. I got one for you. I'm going to go down into the South.
All right.
And I'm going to go 8-9. North Carolina, Wisconsin at 8-9.
So this line is what? North Carolina -2. I saw.
Yeah.
I'm liking North Carolina here. I like North Carolina. I had them a couple times in the ACC tournament. I like their size. I think if they don't turn the ball over and they play okay, Wisconsin's got no answers inside for them. They're way too big, and Whiskey has trouble. We see their record this year. They have trouble with big guys. They're not doing good here. So, North Carolina, I like it. So they got them, and I think that, even playing Baylor next, as great as Baylor is, I think North Carolina might give them a little run because if there's just going to be a track meet, that's where North Carolina's going to go. They could play that kind of game because they rebound like crazy, and then they just get out. When it slows down, and Wisconsin's that slow down, ugly basketball, but they're so bad, I don't think it'll make a difference here. So I'm leaning North Carolina, Tar Heel country here.
Yeah, I agree. And you just saying, the Florida State's ranked higher than Georgia Tech, and they won the tournament. North Carolina lost to Florida State, who Georgia Tech beat, are also ranked higher than Georgia Tech going into the tournament. But no, I agree here. Wisconsin, they've had too much trouble all year, and I know they have really good bigs in that conference, but they've struggled. And if Roy Williams wants to, he can put 2 7-footers on the floor.
Yeah.
And that's going to be an issue for Wisconsin. I like the Tar Heels here as well.
We mentioned somebody just threw up that LSU, an 8 seed. No love from committee. Get a 9 seed, St. Bonaventure, who I think could be dangerous.
Yeah, I think the Bonnies are dangerous, and I know Craig Trapp was on the Bonnies today, so he told me he's had a pretty good day. LSU, they lost a heartbreaker. I don't know if you saw it, if anybody in the chat was watching. They had the last shot, missed it, threw the tip up, rimmed out, threw another one up, rimmed out, and then the shot at the buzzer was caught between the backboard and the rim. This one's tough. I think St. Bonaventure is going to be dangerous here. They've played well, they look well, but it's really just going to depend on what LSU team shows up.
Exactly.
If the LSU team shows up today, I don't see any issue with the Tigers covering the 1.5 here. But I think physically LSU can probably find this win and cover this 1.5. But if the team we saw today shows up, I think they can run away with the game.
I'm sorry, I had my head down. Don't think I was listening to you. I'm just trying to look at some lines for the next up here. What do you think about? All right, I didn't think this guy's.
Oh no, you're good.
I got the bracket printout, and then I have all my lines handwritten down. So I'm going to try to go back and forth. So West Virginia open at 10 here, 3 seed 14 Morehead. Listen, I'm waiting for West Virginia. Are they going to have a good game? Because I've had them the last 2 games against Oklahoma State, and I know Morehead State. Take out the state at the back. There's not much similarities between Oklahoma and Morehead, but I think this line might be a little high.
You said you see 10 on this game?
12. I think I opened at 10. I think it's at 12 now. It went up. It's 12 now. I'm sorry, 12.
I see 12.5, and I think that's a little bit much as well.
I think it's 12.5 now. All right, because I wrote the opening one down. Now it's 10 to 12. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Bob Huggins, he's been on $8.99 for several days. For several games. Oklahoma State, the Cade Cunningham show, they were rolling.
Yeah.
I do think West Virginia can beat, but I think that's too much. I think Morehead State's going to come in with something to prove. They have nothing to lose, and
exactly.
At 12.5, and if this number keeps going up, then for sure, I would definitely take a long look at Morehead State here.
Yeah, definitely agree with you. I'm like, as I said, it was like 10 and then 12. I got the total 137.5 now. Yeah, I got this at definitely lower to that number as West Virginia. Just the way they've been playing. They're not the defensive team they were. They're going to want to run, and Morehead will say, okay, here you go. We're house money. Let's try to make a name for ourselves.
Right. And
let's see what else we got. Right. Let's see what else we got going on here. Ray, you're a little late. It's okay. It's all right. We'll have, I'll be doing at 10 o'clock on the Win and Free Picks page, another live show. So we'll go over a crazy amount of games. Michigan in trouble. Second round facing LSU or Bonaventure. Agree. That's if Michigan even gets out of that because they're playing UCLA. So who knows if they even get there.
Yeah.
App State's dangerous.
They are.
We we hit only a couple playing games. We didn't do Norfolk over App State or Mount St. Mary's, Texas Southern. But yeah, Appalachian State, that they could be a troublemaker for somebody. Purdue doesn't leave their home state. It must be nice for Purdue. You know what? It is what it is. A lot of times you got teams who play close to home. So, the Big Ten's got a little edge, I guess, because they're a lot of border states. And they, if those guys playing in Indianapolis, you just played there, and you're staying in the same hotel room probably for the last 2 weeks. So maybe a little edge there built into it, but it is what it is. Colgate, Arkansas is going to be one of the best first round games. Let's talk about a little Colgate here. The Raiders, good offense, 85 points a game. Arkansas loves to get up the court. Is this another over game?
Yeah, I think this one's going to go over.
I'm seeing 157, 9 and 157 here.
Yeah, I think that one's going to go over. And even if Arkansas comes through, I don't remember who it is, but they've got a tough draw who they're going to see in the second round if and when they make it. But yeah, I would definitely look look over in that Colgate game. Arkansas likes to run. Colgate can score. If it
Yeah,
stays in the 150s, I would say with the over.
Yeah, Arkansas likes to run, and then all of a sudden you got Texas Tech or Utah State staring at you in the next one. They'll definitely want to slow things down a bit. Either team that comes out there. Michael's here. Hey, Michael, how are you? I saw Kraft's in the house. Colgate game we did. Arkansas, Colgate already a lot of points. Absolutely. Bama, Iona. Old Rick Pitino, this guy, I said today, I was like, he might be replacing the son of Minnesota after today's job. I think he was off for like a month, a little over a month. They didn't play a game, Iona. First year at the school, and hello, Frisco. These guys win as a 6th seed in the MAC. But listen, Iona always recruits well for their conference. They're always a top team in the program. Not shocking they got there. And really, is it not surprised that he won? You're getting points here from Alabama, though. You're getting a big chunk.
17.
I want to take the 17, but part of me is like, you know what, Alabama, they might want to be like, screw you, Rick Pitino, bro. How many times did you piss all over us down here?
Right.
Like they might want to be like, we're going to run it up because you're old. This is the new basketball. So I'm a little hesitant to take that. I wanted to take it, but I didn't even put in. I saw 17 and I saw a 16 and a half too. I was like, and a 16. So I was like, you know what? Sometimes I'm going to have a lot of games. If it's questionable, I'm not going to play it. Maybe down the road I'll throw it into a parlay or, God forbid, tease it up with some other giant dogs.
Yeah, this one's tricky. Alabama just won the SEC, but they shot horrendously the last couple of days. John Petty can't throw the ball in the ocean, and sooner or later, that's going to stop. And they're going to have another game where they're going to win by 40 because they're going to make everything. And, with a couple of days off, they get to rest. They get to take their pretty trophy home. This is one where this one could get out of hand quickly if those shots start to fall, which sooner or later they're going to start to fall.
Yeah. So Thomas is like, Andy was chosen because everything's close to Lucas Oil. Absolutely. I mean, you got Lucas Oil, you got Butler, I think they're playing at Purdue's arena. So you got a lot of places there. And where else? If they wanted everything enclosed in a bubble, where else were they going? They weren't going to Vegas with a bunch of 18-year-olds. That wasn't happening. Could they pull it off there? Absolutely. I mean, they have 3 tournaments going on there anyway for, conference tournaments. So, but there's nowhere else you're going. So that was a good spot. I'm not knocking. I'm not saying they shouldn't be there. I like that they chose. I think that's a good place. There's enough arenas, basketball courts, decent, pro, and they're good side. I mean, Purdue's a legit program. Butler's a legit program. So you're going to have seating, for whatever is going to be available. So it is what it is. Which Maryland team will show up?
I don't know. They're going to play UConn.
I'll say I'll probably be on UConn.
Yep.
Just because I was high on them for the Big East tournament. It didn't deliver, but they're a team that could run a little bit. Maryland. I don't like Maryland. I would rather seen somebody else in. I would rather saw St. Louis than Maryland. I mean, give me something else than an average Power 5 school.
Yeah, the line's 2, 1.5, 2.5. I think UConn. I think UConn is for sure going to do this one. Maryland has issues, and I hate to call them out, but Maryland suffers from poor coaching a lot, and I think that's going to get them here as well. I'm going to be on UConn.
Wichita State will easy cover, says Josh Bell.
Yeah, we'll see. I got one for you. 5-12 in the East, Colorado against Georgetown.
I mean, it's tough not to take Georgetown because you just come out of winning the Big East. You're red hot. Everything's going right for you. And Colorado comes in off a loss, a team that they had beat a little bit. Colorado, what's the line? 5? I'm seeing 5 130, and it's down to 4.5. So it dropped a half point. Okay, no big concern there. But in that game, I'll probably lean to the hot team. Although I do like Colorado shooters, but it's tough. I mean, how do you go against a team that just ran like that? It was, you pulled the upset on Nova, then you had a little tough one, and then you rolled Creighton. I mean, the Creighton's rolled them, and then So Trini's in the house. Hey, Trini. So yeah, I'd probably lean Georgetown here just because they're hot. I mean, it's getting points with a hot team. I can't fault you.
Yeah, I agree.
UConn wins by 7. Yeah, I think everybody kind of saw that UConn team play good, but maybe against anybody else, maybe I would be thinking I might not take the Huskies here because they shot their shot there. They had a nice run. They fell short. Tough loss. Missed some shots at the end of that game. But Maryland's not a team I'm scared of, so that's why I'll like UConn here to get it done.
Yeah, especially for just a bucket.
Yeah. I know where we want to go. We hit all the 5-12s, which everybody loves. We hit the 2 good play-ins. We talked about the other 2, or more Appy State people kind of like.
Yeah.
And listen, we'll be doing these. I mean, I'm sure every day we're going to have 3 or 4 games we're covering this week between everybody on Picks Parlays the show. So I don't know. I say let's just wrap this up. Unless you got another one to jump on real fast. Something jumps out with you.
I was going to say one that I was personally asked. It's
right.
It's the 8-9 in the West, Oklahoma and Missouri. Oklahoma's -2. I was personally asked that one today by a family member, so I really. So I'll go ahead and talk about it.
Go ahead, let's go.
The Sooners really closed the year horrifically. They'd won maybe just one of those last couple of games down the stretch. When they lost to Kansas State, that was bad. But
yeah. There were 10-point road favorites over a team that just broke a 13-game win streak and couldn't get it done.
Couldn't get it done. And I think that was a gut punch, if you will, for the Sooners. And they never really recovered. They won a game here and there. They didn't look good in the tournament. But Missouri, they've got me a couple of times this year. They got me against Georgia as a 3-point favorite. They were up 14 and then lost by 12. I think the Sooners will beat Missouri here and at least get to the next round. I think the veteran leadership, Austin Reeves, Manic, I think they'll get the Sooners through.
My first impression was actually kind of like Missouri a little bit, just because everything you said about Oklahoma. Where's their heart? What? Now you're going to turn on to go face Gonzaga in the next game? Really? To get smoked by 28 when Gonzaga runs all over you? So I don't know. I mean, I'll lean the other way. I kind of like that Missouri team a little bit. So
okay, well, that's a little bit for everybody to hang on to for the end here.
I mean, the line is what it is. It's where it should be for an 8-9 game. Nobody's crazy. Iona, we talked about these guys. We kind of like Iona, but it's a little scary because you don't know if these guys want to run it up on Rick Pitino. But that's a lot of points. And do I think now maybe Iona, maybe they don't get their legs because they've only played a certain amount of games since they were off for a month. Maybe they're not ready to kind of play this kind of game because Bama's definitely want to get up and down the court. And Mac with a AA usually plays a grind out kind of basketball, not running up into the 90s.
Right.
Clemson Rutgers take the under first to score. Yeah, you got to like the under there. That's going to be an ugly one because Rutgers is. Listen, I'm from Jersey. I'd love to see them do good, but who knows? They're like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Jackass. They show up one game, you see them with a nice win. The next game, you're like, what they? Lose by 20 at Nebraska. So
how?
Yeah. But listen, like, share, subscribe, people. If you're in the chat, let's go. Let's get some like buttons going on. And if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel here, well, do it. Come on. What are you waiting for? We just gave out 15 winners for you.
15.
Right? About, I don't even know how many we got. Like two, at least 10.
At least 10. At least double digits. At least double digits.
If you had 100, that's $1,000. We just put $1,000 in your pocket for a $100 player. So all you could do is hit the subscribe button for us.
we knocked heads, I think, on 2. But
that's it.
That's
Michigan State
and
Missouri.
And Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Yeah. So we started with a knock and finished with a knock. Everything in the middle is good to go.
But it's all right that we had a little, and the 2 we differed on. It's not, we give somebody something to think about, like why somebody likes each side. So that's what we want to do. I always tell people, and those watching, less than an hour on the Win and Free Picks channel, I'll be doing this all over again. So come say hello. We'll talk about other games you want to. I always say, we don't want to talk you off who you like. You know, you're going to like a team, you like them. Cam likes his game, he likes them. I like something, I like them. So we're either going to reaffirm that in you and be like, wow, they're on it, and they like it for a different reason. So that's double a like for me to like it more, or we'll give you something to think about. But we don't ever want to talk you off your play. That's not, just because we're opposite or opposite of you, it's your money. You're betting. You have that much faith in it. Don't let me or Cam change your thinking. That's not what we want to do. We just want to give you information, good, bad, or indifferent. We're here to help for everybody.
And for sure, between the two of us, there's going to be a lot of picks in the coming weeks.
I mean, I fire away. Let's go. Was some days they're not like that.
Yeah.
You have a game where some tickets is like, I don't like anything today. Other days you're like, I'm ready to go. I just loaded up games. I'm like, I can't believe I only got like 5 games. Or kid, I just added like 3 more. I'm like, I'm up to 8. I'm like, you start looking, you're like, you like these games? Bet them.
Yep, go for it.
All right, so we'll wrap this up. Get your March Madness passes, people. 2 capper special, $2.99. 1 capper, $1.99. Get the 2 for $2.99. I mean, that's a smart money move. Same money.
Yeah,
if you saw money on the ground, you'd pick it up. If somebody gave you a $100 discount, why wouldn't you use it? So get the passes, subscribe, notification bells, be part of the Picks Parlays family. If you're in the area in New Jersey, someplace called Atlantic City, legalized sports betting. Craig Trapp and Craig's coming out to the fan cave. We've done it several times in the past. Hats, shirts, come down.